Well, joining me now is a public affairs analyst and former chairman Odofin local government, Ayodele Adewale. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Now, before the inauguration, the president did an interview where he outlined, spoke about a lot of things, but Nigerians want him to focus on certain areas like they rightly pointed out in that report that we saw before you came on. For you, where would you want the president to begin in this administration?
Well, I want him to continue with security. The security infrastructure must be rebranded and reinforced very well. And of course, infrastructure, road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, and to also open up for a lot of investors to come into the aviation industry. And of course, not to forget about technology, because with technology, we can create a lot of jobs. And it means that government must have to give more incentives and of course, open the economy more for the private sector to come in.
Now, in the aspect of security, the president said in that interview that he's going to ensure that the police and the judiciary are very effective. What categorically do you think he should do to ensure that happens this time around? Because if the country is not secure, we can't open it up for foreign direct investment and investors.
Well, definitely. The police must have to work more intelligence gathering, and the various security apparatus that we have must learn to share intelligence and learn to trust more on within their various agencies. The police also must have to recruit more men to reinforce all of their workings, and in the area of recruitment, they must make sure that, I've often said that the basic recruiting level should be OND, because world over now, technologies is being deployed to tackle insecurity, and particularly gathering of information and of course following some unscrupulous tendencies that are likely to create flash of crisis all over the place.
For the aspect of the economy, you know, that there were several, you know, the government in its first term came up with several ways or policies, you know, to ensure that, you know, the economy, it's vibrant, and then there was this diversification agenda by the government. In your view, should the government continue in that light?
The government must continue to diversify the economy, and they must create waivers. If you want investors to come, you must waive a lot of things, particularly the import tax and all of these things. You must waive it. Look at what Ghana is doing right now. Ghana is creating a lot of waivers, and those waivers are part of what will attract those investors to come. And in the aspect of JV, the government could also create land as their own counterpart support for investors to come. By the time you give them a lot of leverage, we have the right market for the investors to come in, produce, and of course, our people will consume it, and all of that.
All right, Ayodele Adewale, thank you for your time on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you for having me.
Joining me now is a public affairs analyst and former chairman, Odofin local government area, Ayodele Adewale. It's good to have you join us right now.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let me ask, you have been working at the grassroots with a lot of Nigerians and all of that. You feel their pulse. From what they say, how would